Ever get that feeling like your brain played a trick on you? You know, where you question your own judgment, like, how could I fall for that?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like that with scams, right? We're diving deep into that today, how scams can really mess with our minds. And not just the financial hit, but the mental and emotional parts, too.
Yeah, the stuff we don't always talk about.
Exactly. Luckily, we've got some experts on our side. The SCARS Institute, they're doing some amazing work in understanding the trauma of being scammed.
Really important stuff.
So if it's not just about the money, what's really happening in our brains when we fall for this stuff?
It's wild, right?
It is. And the SCARS Institute, they have this idea that it's not just about feeling betrayed, but about, like, your whole reality getting shattered.
It's true.
You build this house of cards, your trust, your belief, and then boom, someone comes along and just
knocks it right over.
Exactly. And you're the one who built it in the first place.
You think these pieces fit together.
Right.
You're working on a puzzle. You're so sure. But then you try to force it, and it just doesn't. That's cognitive dissonance right there.
Whoa. Okay. So you're saying it's like, imagine you find out someone you completely trusted lied to you.
Exactly. That rug's been pulled out.
And you built this whole image of them, the relationship, maybe even a future.
And poof, gone. The person you thought you knew, they never even existed.
It's like your mind is trying to hold on to two completely opposite things at the same time.
That's that cognitive dissonance hitting you right between the eyes.
No wonder it feels like your head is spinning.
It's huge. And it's not just about the money or being fooled. It throws your whole world out of whack.
It's like your brain is saying, wait, I thought I had this figured out.
Right.
But you don't.
Like, nope.
And then on top of all of that, we're learning there's this whole other wave that hits you.
Oh, yeah.
The emotional fallout. We're talking shame, guilt, that feeling like you can't trust your own judgment.
Absolutely.
Like an emotional earthquake.
It's true. And what makes it even worse is the way these scammers work.
Ugh, I know, right?
They're masters of manipulation.
They really are.
They prey on our basic human need for connection. Think about it.
Okay.
They don't just ask for money. They build this whole facade like friendship, trust,
Yeah.
even love.
It's scary how good they are at it.
It is. So when that scam is revealed, it's not just your finances that are betrayed.
It's personal.
It's deeply personal.
Like they weaponize your own empathy against you.
Exactly.
The SCARS Institute calls it, get this, the destruction of an identity that they held of themselves.
Powerful, isn't it?
It is. You start questioning everything about yourself. Like, how could I have been so naive? So stupid.
Yep. That's the really insidious part of this kind of trauma. It eats away at you.
Oh, it does?
Makes you doubt your ability to make good decisions, even your perception of reality.
It's like your brain is saying, hey, wait a minute, I thought I knew what was going on, but clearly I don't.
Exactly.
And then we're learning that this trauma, it can actually leave a physical mark on the brain. It's not just in our heads, it's in our heads.
That's right.
So, wild, right?
It is. It's a fascinating and kind of disturbing area of research.
It is.
Remember those feelings we talked about?
Oh gosh, yeah, the fear.
The fear, the confusion.
The overwhelm.
All of that triggers a physical reaction in your brain.
Yeah.
Especially in places like the amygdala,
Okay.
the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex.
Okay, I'm going to need you to break those down for me.
Sure.
Because I'm picturing my brain like a computer system right now.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I like what I'm seeing.
I hear you. Think of the amygdala as your brain's security alarm.
Okay.
So when you experience a scam, it's like that alarm is stuck on high alert.
Oh.
Constant noise, flooding your system with stress hormones like cortisol.
Ugh, cortisol, the worst.
It's not great.
Okay, so my alarm is blaring. Got it. What about the hippocampus?
Now imagine your hippocampus is like the security footage.
Okay.
It's supposed to be recording everything clearly.
Right.
But because of all that stress, the footage is distorted, fuzzy.
Oh, no.
It becomes harder to access your memories and regulate those emotions.
So my alarm's blaring. My security footage is shot. This is not good. What about the prefrontal cortex? That one sounds important.
This is like the CEO of your brain, right?
Yeah.
Responsible for rational thought, decision-making, keeping everything running smoothly.
Right.
But under this type of stress, it's like the CEO is totally overwhelmed.
Oh.
Can't function, can't think clearly, can't make good decisions.
So you're saying the trauma is literally like hijacking our brains?
In a way, yes. And as if that wasn't enough, there's another layer to all of this inflammation.
Oh, no. Come on.
We're not talking about a sprained ankle here.
Yeah, okay.
This is neuroinflammation. It's
Yeah.
like your brain is physically on fire from all that distress.
Whoa. Hold on. Brain on fire.
Yeah.
That sounds intense and painful. Tell me more about this neuroinflammation. Okay, so brain on fire. Is this like a right away thing or more of a slow burn?
It's more like a slow burn, yeah.
Okay.
Think of it this way. When you're really stressed out, your body releases these like inflammatory molecules.
Right.
It's part of the natural healing process.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with constant distress, it's like those molecules are on high alert all the time.
Oh, no.
And if it goes unchecked, it's like your brain is stuck in fight or flight mode.
That sounds exhausting.
It is. It can have some really serious consequences long term.
So it's not just about moving on after a scam. There's this whole other level of healing that needs to happen
Exactly.
in your brain.
It's like taking care of any other injury,
Right.
except it's your brain that needs the TLC this time.
Makes sense. If you sprained your ankle, you wouldn't just walk it off,
You know,
right?
you rest, ice it,
Yeah.
see a doctor.
So brains are the same way.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. From cognitive dissonance to this emotional fallout, and now neuroinflammation.
It's a lot.
It is. Scam trauma is way more than we realize, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a whole mind, body, spirit thing.
It really is.
If there's one thing I want listeners to take away from this,
Yeah.
it's that this stuff is serious. And you are not alone.
No.
There is help out there. The SCARS Institute is amazing.
They are. So many
This
resources.
has been eye-opening.
I agree.
For anyone listening who's been affected by a scam, remember,
Yeah.
you're not alone, and there is help out there.
Absolutely. And there's no shame in asking for help.
None at all.
It's a sign of strength.
It really is.
So reach out.
Reach out and take care of yourself.
At each other.
Until next time.